like when you think of like stories, this isn't like a good guy wins it all and saves the day. You know what I mean? It's like because he chose like the evil side in Fable, it's like it's more so like he's accepting himself. Like he's accepting himself as this. Well, he's because I don't know because I read the description in the video. He accepts himself like as the bad guy, and I think that's badass. The Gloving Academy Discord is now open to the public. Here you can share light shows and ask to live with other glovers. We've got a great community dedicated to improving. This is the only place in gloving where you can get rewarded with free gloving gear just by being active and participating in public events happening every month. We've even got exclusive events available for Hyperstrobe members, from workshops to meeting other top-level glovers, as well as weekly educational content. We've got a growing library of resources available no matter what skill level you are, and if you would like for me to do a frame-by-frame video of your light show, you can submit your video on the Discord. This thing's only going to get bigger and better from here, so follow the link in the description to join. Okay, I guess we'll get started, guys. So yeah, welcome to another episode of Frame by Frame. Today we're going to be looking at Outlaws videos. Before we do, though, I have a guest with me. His name is Genghis Wrath. He is a god amongst men. Good morning, Siwei. Godfather, yeah. But yeah, I figured, you know, we're going to try to do these frame by frames a little bit different this time around because I would like to do these live. And, you know, for anybody who misses them, I like to record them, put it on YouTube, also put it up in the GA Discord. But yeah, in this one, we're going to be going over Outlaws Anthology video and just kind of a little background with this video. Anthology was a storytelling competition hosted by Snaps, and if we go back, like probably, well, I don't even know how long it's been, maybe 5, 6, or 7 years. This is a competition video very reminiscent of Fable, okay? And Fable was this online gloving competition that really focused on storytelling, and just to kind of keep things kind of short, you got to choose whether or not you have a faction on the good side or the evil side. Outlaw was the one who won the very first Fable, and then so it's really interesting to see kind of like what happens after that, because I think that this this competition, it's kind of reminiscent of that competition. Yeah, that's like I think that this you know, it was Fable that really, I think for Outlaw, it was a really big part of his upbringing, right? And then so, like, to see him, like, kind of continue that within this competition is really, it's really refreshing. It kind of reminds me of, like, if you were to watch, like, an anime, and then, like, the anime ended, and then it's like, what happens after the anime, right? that's kind of how I view it. Yeah, so, this is the OVA, the OVA, or the second season. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch this video, and then yeah, we'll break it apart piece by piece. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Unchained. Aaron Yeager. For real. Dude, I literally, I changed it, but I literally copied the set when I first watched it. Yeah, he has some interesting forms here, like right here. This is an Outlaw special. Those wrist rotations. very, very controlled. Dude, this part, I remember watching this, I was like, freaking chills, bro. Chills. Oh, I got chills again. Cool little climb. Got thumb flails. Yeah, yeah. And then this part is like he has to choose, right? He chooses between two elements, and he chose obviously here, like the darkness, right? I think that would be the darkness, because as Attack Titan. And it's like the show starts again. It's like another beginning. It felt like the show just started. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Sure! Damn, dude. Like, I feel it. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Wait, I didn't notice that. Wait, what? I didn't notice that. That is so dope. Sheesh. Yeah, he has a really good understanding of like what's in the camera or not. Oh man, and that final closure, bro. Like that's why he's like the king of storytelling, bro. Like that's why. It's because of stuff like that. Let's go through this. Let's go through this. Oh yeah, shout out to Snaps. He's in the chat right now. But let's go through this one more time, and then we're gonna go ahead and kind of like pick this apart, okay? So look at this. He starts off the show on the ground. Like he starts off the show on the ground. Like this isn't even like technically gloving. This is just theatrics. And I think this is a very it's hard to do in the sense where like if you're not comfortable with yourself, then it won't work. You know what I mean? Because there has been like I've seen like Glovers try to bring out the theatrics in their show, but you can tell that they're not really comfortable within their own skin, and then therefore they're not able to sell it. Like Mike he's so comfortable in it, it doesn't look awkward. You know what I'm saying? It's very anime-ish, like and I talk about this sometimes in Patreon, but like he knows like his his body type, his stance, like his pose, like all of that, he understands what he looks like to the camera. And so he's very comfortable, right? And that's not a camera awareness, theatrics, and that's not even gloving. That's just accessories to gloving. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna do frame by frame all of his videos? I'm not sure if I will. I know that I'm probably just this one, yeah, obviously for sure. I kind of want to do more frame by frames of like more competition, like winning shows, because I feel like it's a good way to like kind of go back and watch history as well. Yeah, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, but maybe we'll go through all of them. But anyway, um, like we're in like what is this? 10 seconds, and it's all just theatrics, right? No gloving is actually happening right now. Like we're in 17. Like it's all just presence, right? It's all just miming. It's all like breathing and like symmetrical moves. He's just doing stuff like this. And I think there's a it's all breathing, bro. Like it's all breathing and like there's in order it's if you think about storytelling, everything is on the table. Like you could do anything. Like you don't even have to glove. And it's like let's say this is an actual competition, right? Where storytelling or like musicality is on the scorecard. It's like you can't really argue against it, even though it's not gloving per se. You can't really argue against it. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things that you can do that isn't gloving that's going to really affect the overall presentation of your show. It's kind of like a package, right? Like you want that full package. Setting the stage for the main character, right? Very IGL. The 4 to 5 yes, that's a great way of putting it. And I feel like, they're that's tough. It's tough because like that kind of forces, well, if we're talking about IGL scorecard, that kind of forces people to glove a very certain way. Like, because I know there's a lot of tech heavy glovers who don't like doing theatrics or feel like it's very out of their element to do so. But Outlaw, on the other hand, is one of those guys who has just kind of taken that IGL scorecard and made it part of his style. It's kind of, I did the same thing as well, where it's kind of like, yeah, it's very balanced. That's what I would argue for the IGL scorecard. And for those of you who don't know, the IGL scorecard was Amazing's version of the of an official scorecard, and it had things like persona and storytelling and musicality, and yeah, there was a lot of elements in that scorecard that made like it made you, it forced you to be well rounded. You couldn't main a part, yeah, you couldn't main a particular style and then just win with just that one style. You know what I mean? You had to be a overall. You had to have presence and you had to have complexity. You had to be the full package, right? And yeah, style. Like it was. Dude, I should know this. It was style, execution, and dude, I forget. I forget. I should know this. I'm disappointed in myself. There we go. That might be it. Speed control. Yeah. Storytelling. Yeah. In my opinion, it had all the elements. No, you're good, bro. It had all the elements of what made a good light show, but like what you would actually see like in these like grand final competitions would be the ones who usually won not only had like a really good sense of like complexity and like precision, but they also had that theatrics, right? And I feel like now that we're older, I feel like that theatrics part, while yes, it is another element to create like this experience, although I don't believe it's absolutely necessary in order to win like a competition show. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should be a defining factor of what makes a competition light show win, because I feel like then you start to lose like glovers who want to main one concept and like who are like eons, like years ahead in one style, but like they lose simply because they're not theatrical. I don't know. I feel like that's a discussion for like another day, to be honest. Um, for yeah, very well rounded. Right, exactly. No gloving. It's a hook. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, exactly. And this is a pretty long show too. It's like 4 minutes 30 seconds. But I wonder, when does the gloving actually start? Like, okay, we're like 20 seconds in. Like right here. I would like. I love how he like comes to the side and he brings your attention back. Like he's just bringing your attention and he's slowing it down. It's kind of like, okay, here I am and this is what I'm going to present to you, right? And like he does this pretty often in his shows, I feel like. The dissecting here. And you know, one of the things that I've come to realize over the years of watching Outlaws shows was he likes to do a lot of like these single digits a lot. That it I think it's technical, like in terms of like complexity, he does this a lot in just the forms, and it's kind of like the spice to his tech forms, because we're gonna see that a little bit later on here. Light shows are just video essays, yes. And Outlaws videos, he's got like the, you know, like in the SpongeBob episode where it's like the, and it's like that crazy cursive, like old English. That's Outlaw. That's Outlaw. That's how he does his light shows. He's that big the. That's how he starts his light shows, that big the. Like here, okay, cool. This is what I'm gonna talk about, okay? Like, he does all these second digits, exactly, like, things like that. He'll do stuff like this a lot in his forms. Like, he'll just do the 2 here, and then he'll do the 3. And I don't find myself personally doing that a lot in my shows. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like I wanna have to, like, connect all the time and do the connections. But Outlaw, he takes like he breathes with it, right? Like he'll show you a form and he might do something like this, and then he'll do like the pinkies, and then he'll do like the thumbs. So I think it's a really good accent to forms in your connections. Yeah, let's watch that one more time. Like, yeah, he goes fast, right? I think for me personally, I like during like more heavier intense parts, because we're at the beginning, like during the drop, right? I like more connections, like more harder connections. I feel like that's the most appropriate, or like whips at the drop, right? I feel like that is the most appropriate for later on in the show. But because he's moving faster, he's not really doing a lot of hard connections. So I feel like it's acceptable, right? Well, maybe acceptable is not the right word, but I think it's accurate. I think it's totally fine, because even if he's just doing these little second digits here, it's not a lot, you know what I mean? He's not showing a lot. It's more of kind of like a little accent to his letters, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't consider, I consider this is fine, in my opinion. Like, he's teasing forms here in this section. He's teasing forms, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like, contrary to, like, if I were to be like, boom, 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 like, to me, that's the meat of your shows, right? That's the meat. But he's kind of just going from form to form and kind of playing around with it. He's teasing the audience, I feel like. And teasing is a really big part of his style. It's simple enough, and it's not complex enough where it works. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is a really cool, like, this is a really cool move, in my opinion, when he does like this. Yeah. This sliding, like, diagonal, you know what I mean? Like, this sliding diagonal. I think what you can't really, maybe you guys can't really tell, but there's kind of like a friction that he has. There's like a resistance that he has, a texture to that movement that's like only there. I don't think he does it in any part of the show. Let's watch that one more time. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think that's just good musicality, right? And I really love what he's doing here with the flail tech kind of cause and effect. And he does, see, this is what I'm talking about. He did it with his pointer. Like he did this flail with the thumb isolation here, and then he did it with his pointer. Like, if you could just mess with that all the time, like, that is such a trippy illusion. Like, I don't think to just do just that, like, multiple times. Like, I'll do it, like, once, but I won't do it 3 times. You know what I mean? 3? I do want to point out, I'm not sure if you could tell, but when he gets into this next form here, there's a little bit, let's pay attention to like this pinky here, right? Because he lands here. Okay, I'm going backwards right now. So he lands here. Okay. He lands into this form. So the pinky and the pointer, and I think this is a really cool form because there's like this rectangle, right? In between right there from the pinky, and then he closes it, right? I want you to pay attention to this finger, this top pinky, okay? So as we're going, you can kind of see that he kind of flexes it a little bit. There's a little bit of an execution error. He's kind of a little bit of a hiccup there, right? And I noticed that this is pretty frequent throughout Outlaws shows, is he has these little mini hiccup moments during his tech. Now, I'm not sure if that's because relative to when he's, because I know he took a long break from gloving, right? It might be a little bit of rust because I know he was like in it for a while and then like he got like he stopped, right? And then so it might be a little bit of rust in my opinion, where like the control may not be completely there, but it happens, you know what I mean? Like Outlaw is like such a top caliber glover, but like sometimes we do still have those little hiccups in our movements, myself included. And then so like it's really hard to come by like a completely perfect show. Like I feel like even in like all like my competition shows, like I've messed up in every single one of them. So like here you can't like there's a little bit of like, even in this top finger there's a little bit of movement. Yeah. Yeah. I love this move though because he's going from like this little claw, but he has his thumb there, and then he goes and reverses it. Yeah, and then he has his thumb there. So like that's a really cool illusion. That is different. Yeah. I wonder if you could make that square and like rotate it like that. Oh, dude, look at that. You could do like a little thumb flail like in between. Dude, oh, that is sick. I can barely do it. It kind of hurts. Like doing this form with my pinky and my thumb out, really, it's not, I can't get into this without feeling awkward. Maybe it's just a matter of practicing. Like, yeah, actually, maybe it's just stretching. I'm gonna grind that. I'm gonna grind that form later on. Here, I love what he's doing here. That's such a different like application of forms in my opinion, because he had like, you don't really see connections that are open like this with like a form. You'll usually see them straight, right? But like it just kind of goes to show that as long as your movement is straight and direct, like you could make anything work. Like as like your pathing, like your grid pathing, it doesn't have to be straight vertical or any hand shape. Like I'm gonna like let's test that right now. Like I could just do some like wonky like something that you do, bro. Something that you do, and then like, you know, as long as this form exactly, that's crazy. Let's see it. I can't see it. I think your camera's off. Oh, that's what you do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that. Like, yeah, I cannot do that. But like, even if like something like this, yeah, like even if I do like a weird thing like this, and then like if I were to just keep it there and I keep my movement straight, like I think that's still clean. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be straight vertical or straight horizontal. So I like that. And he's actually doing like a curved, like he's doing like a curved, this hand, it's kind of curved there. Yeah, with the other hand. So it kind of, it has a very interesting aesthetic to that move. I wish he would like play with this type of look in his moves a lot more, because I feel like there's a lot there stylistically. Yeah. Yeah, like what does he do? He actually does dissect it. Although he flails with it. Like I love how he blends it too. Like he was at this form, or like was it this? And then as he's doing this rotation, he's slowly isolating his hands just like that. So I think the blending there is really cool because of the trails. Because it's like, it could cause confusion, right? Like if you're here and then you somehow like land there, like the viewer might catch like, wait, I thought his pinky was out, but actually like he's doing it mid form flail or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, within the rotation. Yeah, that's something I don't. really find myself doing as often as well. Stormy? Oh shoot. And yeah, this I watch a lot of Outlaw shows, and he does this quite a bit. Like these right here, like these are so fun, right? I would like to see though how he could. It's kind of hard to build off of this, no? Because this is kind of like I think actually yeah, maybe it is. It's very hard to make it clean. You need to like breaking your wrist, and my mode might not be the best for this. Yeah, like huh. Yeah, if I do like your kind of cross, that's actually I've never actually paid attention to like the way that the trails look because it's like okay, like this is just two dots in a circle, right? But like if you make your form like really weird like that, then it's like a trail cluster. You know what I'm saying? it's a it's a. What about this? I can't see your camera. Oh my god. Something like that, right? Yeah, yeah. There's I don't think there's a lot of yeah, there's not a lot of work in that type of concept where it's just like a wrist rotation, but like oh, does Marty do is more is that a Glover? Interesting. Yeah, that's mm, yeah, yeah, it's interesting. It's not very tech heavy, but it's like a trail tech. It's a type of trail tech. You know what I mean? And that's kind of weird to think of, but I don't know. It's not personally my cup of tea, but yeah, going back to the video, I love when he does it though because he does it really clean, and I can't really okay something right here. He'll do he'll do what I call cupped whips, and I think Outlaw is one of the perfect guys to like do this. But like he does it really slow, but I'll do them fast. We're like during the whip, instead of doing like a finger roll during the whip, I'll have it cupped like that. I won't even do the finger roll. It's kind of like a flail. It's like a flail whip. It gives a sharper look to your flail. And like what I like to put like a tracer here. So then it's a sharper flail. You know what I mean? Compared to like a wide trail like this where like now it's just closed now, but what he's doing is he's not really going fast enough to be able to see the full trail, but it's a different look to your whip, and I really respect that. I really respect this type of movement here. Let's go ahead, and I think when you think of like the most significant parts of Outlaw's show, at least for this one, in my opinion, I feel like the most significant parts are the parts where he doesn't really do anything. Do you agree with that? Because I think because the song, yeah, the spaces in between, and I think it's just that the song calls for it. Like they're like because the song is very feelsy, and it's like it's very slow, and like the parts where it just slowed down. Like listen to this, like relative to the other parts of the song, it's like this long, elongated song, and he's not really doing much. And I think like just that alone causes a lot of like feelings. You know what I mean? It's like you're like in awe. Like you're in awe witnessing. Like this is the perfect situation of when less is more. And yeah, I think that it's interesting because it's like it's to me it's the most significant parts of the show. And I can't really say that because he does it well, yeah. He's confident. He's confident in not doing anything. Because I know that there are, you know, there are Glovers out there. It's like when they don't do anything, they they feel like they have to move. They feel like they have to do something. Because I've heard this a lot. And I've been there. I've been there many times where I'm like, okay, I'm not really doing anything, but like if the song isn't doing anything, then you don't have to, right? You could just do floating. You could just live in the form. You could just live in there and have them appreciate the form and move some things here and there. This is cool. I like this moment here where his thumbs kind of, he has this form and then he kind of like traces the back of his hand, and I think like just this form is so fun to play with, because then you could do something like this where you switch your thumb and you use like secondary movement, right? You move around the grid, you play around with it. You could make it so, yeah. I think what he could play around more with in this situation, if he wants to get more technical with it, right, is that you could trace the back of your hand. Like, well, he actually kind of does that, but I think he's just simply like putting on top his pointer. But there's a concept here, right? You could trace the back of your hand, and you could trace this inner part of your middle hand, your middle finger here. So yeah, so it's like there's a lot of grid application, but I feel like in terms of flexibility, there's not much you could do in this form in particular. But let's watch him do that mode change one more time, because like here, perfect. Yeah, it's swift. I do want to mention though, look at the shakiness in this hand, in the hand on the right. You see what I mean? There's a little bit of jitters in the control. You know what I mean? And I guess so. If it were a completely black room, then yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like even though if it were off, it's like you still gotta you gotta have that clean control, right? It's like you gotta, I think it may be because it's tense and he might be flexing, where it's like it's better to just like relax and just come back. It's such a small detail that like it's like the biggest thing that I see, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I guess yeah, it's a super minor thing. Like here, like look at that. Like look at that. Like look at this thumb. He twitches them a little bit. Like he twitches. Look at them. Right there. Like it went out. Like, it's like that's very consistent within Outlaws shows, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's anxiety or like a sort of anticipation, maybe. It's a little hiccup. It's just minor hiccups. I love these those thumb flails. One thing that I've done on my own camera was I would literally come close like this, and because I have a fisheye, right, I would literally put my thumb on the lens and I would just touch my fisheye like that, so you get a sense of feel for the full rotation. Because sometimes when you're just like kind of like that, you kind of like half-ass it, kind of like that, like if you're not touching. But like if you're touching the lens, it's like you get that full rotation around, like full rotation around. And yeah, it's just a little tip. Yeah, just don't make the lens dirty. Just make sure your gloves are clean. You're cleaning your lens, so you're making it cleaner. And this to me is probably the most important part of the show, right? It's adding that theatrics to Conjuring, right? He looks left, he looks right, he picks bad. I would assume, I don't know if this is blue or if this is purple. I don't know what the white balance is on the GoPro, because I know GoPros can kind of mess up the color. It would make sense if it was like blue, but it also kind of makes sense if it was purple. Like, you know, and it's interesting that, like, when you think of like stories, this isn't like a good guy wins it all and saves the day. You know what I mean? It's like, because he chose like the evil side in Fable, it's like, it's more so like he's accepting himself. Like he's accepting himself as this. Well, he's because I don't know, because I read the description in the video. He accepts himself like as the bad guy, and I think that's badass, right? Picking red, like that's so cool. Like that's just sorry, that's just so cool. Here, okay, like good, very simple conjuring, right? And I love how he was very thoughtful with the next mode on his set because he didn't have these yellows on the perimeter of his hands. So it's like he planned this all out. And that's just another aspect of storytelling, in my opinion, is that he's planning these modes, right? It is professionalism. Yeah. Yeah, very simple rotations here. Very balanced. A lot of symmetry. I love the symmetry. Outlaw's one of those guys who's very symmetrical with where he places all his moves on the overall like canvas, right? In space. Like you'll notice that if he does stuff on the left, he'll do it on the right. And so like I love that about his shows. Like right here, look at that. He's doing everything like middle, left, right, left, right. And again, it's like part of Outlaws shows to do these like these little digits here over and over and over, right? I don't know who else mains that type of style. It is conditioning. Yeah, it is a different type of conditioning. That's a great point. Digit conditions. Condigits. Yeah, it's not as soothing as like finger roll conditioning, but it gets the job done. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not as like burning on the eyes because it's like you know what I mean. There's a different like hypnotism to like finger rolls than like I mean I don't know maybe that's just me. Yeah, that's different. I never. Yeah, it's like conditioning and like what if I did like King Tut conditioning like that? It's not the same. You know what I mean? I mean he's conditioning there with just trails. The repetitive movements really add to the storytelling in this. Oh, did you see that? I didn't notice that earlier. Because I kind of do this sometimes. And it's not necessarily like a mistake, per se. But like, I want you to pay attention to this form, okay? So we've got like a diagonal, like pointer middle. And then the pinky is clearly... Wait, what is he doing? It's clearly out. He's clearly doing this, okay? But like, look... Yeah, and like the back of his hand is towards the audience, right? But like, look at when he switches it. It's not the same. You know what I mean? I don't know if he meant to do that. Yeah, I would like because I would think that he would want to do like this, then come back to that, then do that for the symmetry, right? But then it's kind of like he does the same form, but it's bent at a different angle, and I'm not sure if I quite like. You know what I mean? It's kind of off just a little bit. Yeah. Was that intentional or not? It probably wasn't intentional. That's what I would think. Yeah. You know, this part of the song, like I was thinking about this when we were talking earlier, but like, do you think that there is a more accurate representation of this part of the song than with what he's doing now with this? No, I'm saying that like I think that's like the no, it is filler, but like I feel like that's the perfect representation for that part of the song at that time. It's like listen to this, listen to the song, listen to the song. Like there's like this wind up. It's like charging up. It's like charging up. Like it's like this grand like thing, right? Like I don't think any other like movements would accurately display that part of the song. Like that to me was perfect. Like in terms of musicality. Did he change the modes there? I don't believe you, bro. I don't believe you. Oh, he does it right there. He did it right there. No, you're right. Damn. I can't even see the button clicks. Like, you know what I mean? don't know, bro. I don't believe you. Isn't that still yellow? I was about to say that is probably the smoothest flail button click like illusion I've ever seen. Cause yeah, I don't know. I love how he slows it out there too, because it's like he'll like go fast and then like he'll do that speed control. But not only does he do the speed control, it's just another part of the theatrics where look at that. He looks at his flail. He physically looks at it, right? Like that's so cool. And then he looks back. He looks back. Boom. Boom. Interesting. I didn't notice this earlier. Look at the finger roll. He has his finger roll, like when he does a finger roll here, one of his thumbs are in. One of his thumbs are in and one's out. Yeah. I'm not sure if he meant to do that. But he balances it back, which I think that's a recovery. I think that works. Yeah. Intentionally, he... Yeah. It's not something that I could, like, be like, okay, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, after he does this transition... I think Outlaw's application of like these platforms is really cool. Like he'll do like just these angles and move it around and then use them later on. And I don't know, I really like the look of when he does stuff like this. Like his genetics there, like he has these like very aesthetically pleasing angles. Like just stuff like this. Like just stuff like that. Like look at that. He's on top like that and it looks nice. It's perfectly flat, yeah. What do you think about this final drop? Because it's interesting because during like that I guess the build up before this one, it was really fast. It was hyper speed, right? But like during the actual like last drop, he is very relaxed with it, right? Because look at that. Let's watch it one more time. Like he's very calm here. He does the digit thing again when he's doing these like this cool little box isolation here. Really fun. Yeah. It's I kind of love that he didn't go fast again during the second drop because I felt like all the intensity parts were clearly shown earlier on that like he didn't necessarily need to go more aggressive during the last drop. You know what I'm saying? It's like a good balance of speed in different parts of the show. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That basically means stop doing really hard tech at the end. I love that. I love that. These isolations here. This is actually kind of complex. But he kind of does these like sequences a little bit like similarly to how he did in the beginning. So it's kind of like a full package. You know what I mean? He's kind of like going full circle, which I think is really cool. So it works. You know what I mean? Oh, I love, dude. That illusion there is really sick. He'll like, oh, he like just, it's like a little squid. He does like a little like pulley. He like pushed it, and it's not just, it's like boom. It's very dramatic, and I think that's a really cool illusion. It kind of makes your digits come alive if he's just going boop. You know what I mean? Like boom, boom, boom. Can you please wind that back one more time? Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and watch that. He does it once. He does it once though, you know? I want to see him play with that. He has these very interesting movements that he'll do like once. Like he'll have these very interesting I don't know if one-liners is the best way to, like he had that like he had like he had this thing. He had that one form here, and then he had this one there. You know, it's like these little Easter eggs in his show. He'll just do once and then just not do them ever again. Like he doesn't build off of these. Yeah, you drop like a golden nugget of concept, just like a little piece, like a little piece of gold in there. Breadcrumbs. Yeah, I think if he honed in on that stuff, like it would be so intricate. It would be so weird. Like he's leaving breadcrumbs. Like a whole style where like, okay, I'm not gonna do straight vertical or horizontal like lines. I'm just gonna do like weird stuff like this. But like what if like he combined it like with like those little pushies that he does? No one really does that. No one really does that as a style. Right? I can't, but they can, yeah. And it's interesting. This is his only look at that. This is his only king tutting sequence in the show, and it's right at the very end. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at that flail tut. Look at that. It's a crazy flail tut. Like I love there's a little bit of I see like tutters do this a lot, but when he gets to the king tut, look at like his hand, this hand on the right. Okay. Let's skip a little bit forward. Watch. Yeah. Look at this hand. Like he does like a little finger rolly. He does like a little finger rolly thing to like bring his hand up like that. So it's kind of like a little cause and effect kind of deal. Damn. He like turns it into the flail tut. Like who does this? A turning flail, a vertical. He does. That's very weird. But the fact that he does that flail tut, that is so smooth. It's just like gets there, right? So sick. And then again, he does these little digit things again as part of his style. A little bit of a prayer ending here. And I love how he has an actual intro, and to top it off, he kind of like closes it like he accepts that he's part of the bad guys. He accepts himself as the baddest dude around. He's the good bad guy. Exactly. Yeah. Dude, that was so cool to really look at it deeper. What are some things you think that Mike could improve on? Cuz I think really it just comes down. Actually, maybe it's just two things, right? I think there are objectively minor hiccups in his shows, and whether that be because of nerves, maybe he's on caffeine, I don't know, but like maybe like taking like deeper breaths in between of his moves. Because I used to have a hiccup problem as well. Maybe not like that, but like I would always like stumble. Like it would be more of like a stumble, like with my connections like this, like I would slip off. And then so what helped me with that was just a moment, like a brief moment and a pause every time I do my forms, because I'll get into my form and I'd pause, just kind of like taking like a snapshot of the form, because I notice sometimes when I'll if I'm too fast, I'll slip like this. But then Outlaws ones are very different. He'll like flex little pieces here and there. And that it's just kind of a weird. I don't know what the fix would be besides really just collecting yourself in certain moments of a form, because he'll do that in the form. Like he'll have those little hiccups when he's paused, which is kind of opposite compared to me. I don't know. It's an interesting problem. Yeah, that's an interesting problem. It might, like right here, like at this part, look at that. There's a little bit of a jitteriness, and then like he came out. It kind of like went like this. I think, you know what might be the solution is that there might need to be more points of contact, because because if you have that point of contact and you put a little bit of pressure there, then it sticks. Yes, because he might be too relaxed. I think you're right. He might be too relaxed, and like he's not really pushing and putting the pressure, right? Yeah, so that might be the fix for that, right? And then I think the it's different. I don't think I've ever had to troubleshoot another person with that problem before, so that's a first for me. But I know Mez has this problem. I know Mez has a little bit of that problem in the past. Yeah. Another fix as well is going blinkier sets, because that was the fix for Mez. It's like because when you're blinkier, right, you can't really see those little like these little hiccups. Maybe it's just there's not a lot of information in the blink, so that might be like yeah, it might be a duct tape fix. Yeah, exactly, right. It's like as much as right, as much as Outlaw is like one of like the top glowers in my opinion, there are still things that, you know, we could pick apart from and see like, okay, maybe there was a hiccup there was a execution error there, right? And you know, not every glover is going to execute perfectly every single show. There's still something. There's something that even myself, like there's something that we can all improve on, no matter where you are and what level you are at in gloving. But yeah, going on to the other thing, which isn't necessarily a big problem, was that like I wanted to see him go a little bit deeper in his concepts, like the weird thing, the thing that he was doing. I don't know if he caught it though. I don't know if he caught that that's a weird concept, but maybe some deeper connections when he's in these forms or playing around more with this form, right? It's about knowing what you got. It's about knowing what you got and knowing how to break apart these weird concepts that you have or that you may do. Yeah. I wonder if he knows this. I wonder if Mike knows this, or if he just does them to do them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like I know he has the mind to expand deeper in him, right? But yeah, I think that other than that, that's probably the only thing that I would say. But like all things considered, like that was, you know, one of the best displays of musicality in my opinion, and a very different type of story, right? It's not your normal average storytelling where it's like, okay, like here's the thing, and then like, okay, going slow, right? It's about like his character development, and I think that's very special, especially because, you know, we've been in the game for so long and we've seen like Outlaw's journey, and I think it's a very special thing to have like a light show like this and he still be gloving this long. This is like the complete story. Dang, dude. Now I'm sad. For real. Yeah. Well, yeah. Fable 4? I don't know about that, man. If it were to be Fable, it would be some kind of spin-off or something, bro. Like, I don't know about bringing Fable back. Maybe I will just to watch Outlaw videos. But, yeah, man. Yeah. It is. It really is. And I feel like it's kind of dying a bit. No one is... I mean, thank Snaps for hosting this. I don't think... well, or at least storytelling is being displayed in a different sense nowadays. It's not necessarily in this... You don't really see this a lot anymore, you know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, bro, like, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Gloving Academy content. Peace. If you're looking for whites, battery skins, or any other gloving accessories, head on over to glow-leds.com, and don't forget to use my code AlohaNation for 10% off. Big shout outs to all current Gloving Academy Patreon subscribers. Here they are. Thank you so much for all the support. Seriously, guys, the Patrons got weekly educational and never before seen content. So if you want to take your gloving to the next level and learn from me, I highly recommend joining the Gloving Academy Patreon.